So it is early in the morning here, and early in the morning is always a good time to reflect. This past weekend we had the Goju Guy seminar, of which I was a part, one of the 3 instructors, and it kind of got me to thinking about some of the ways in which karate has been really important, or martial arts in general has been really important in my life. And I was thinking, is it the martial art itself that's really important, or is it the people that I've met through it? So the point of this video is to talk about the importance of kindness and the importance of the role of the sensei or the senior. If you've been doing martial arts for any appreciable amount of time, you would have run into a whole bunch of different personalities and politics and all those sort of things. And I guess this weekend I saw a complete lack of ego, a complete lack of politics, and that wasn't something that we created. I think that was something that people come together with a willingness to do things differently, to let it. Having said that, what I'm going to do is talk to you about my remembrances of people who've been really important in my journey. One of my first teachers was a man called Mita Mohi, and Mita taught the traditional Māori martial art of Mau Taiaha, or Mau Rākau. And one of the things that he was always really good at was making us all feel like we're the most important people in the world, and that we have potential, and that being Māori was something of a treasure and something of a and something to be valued and something to be honored. Over the years, thousands of people have trained with him on Mokoia Island and Rotorua here in New Zealand. And one of the things that I always observed of him was that he made every effort to learn and know everyone's name. He rubbed shoulders with movie stars. He rubbed shoulders with sports legends, and he rubbed shoulders at the same time with men who had been incarcerated, with young people who are so detached from the culture that they didn't know who they were, and thus had a difficult time finding out where they were going and what they were doing. He was always one of those people who inspired all of us, and he always had a smile, and he always took time to make us feel like we were the most important person around. That's what I remember of Mita Mohi. One of my first karate sensei was, or is, Sensei Laurie Scott. I was fortunate enough to train with him as a younger man, and the things that I lacked mainly were maturity or any kind of common sense. Aside from teaching us good karate, he would, every night, he would give me a ride home, way out of his way, from the dojo to my home. And during those conversations, I felt like I learned so much about karate. I learned so much about what it takes to be a leader and be a good person. And yes, the karate he taught me was awesome, and I always respect him for that. But at the same time, that small moment of kindness changed how I saw myself. Sensei Tiruo Chinen was an amazing Okinawan Goju karate master from Okinawa, and lived in Spokane in Washington State, and he travelled to New Zealand on a fairly regular basis to come and teach seminar and things like that. And later on I got an opportunity to go to Spokane and train with him. I remember he came to New Zealand, and at the time I was working, as I was talking to you before, about Mita Mohi and teaching Mau Rākau. So I had a group of young Māori children, tribal children, who were in the process of learning the art from me. And I was encouraged to bring them out. I was very lucky to have the opportunity. My dojo were very good to me, and we brought these children out and they demonstrated for Sensei Chinen. And Chinen Sensei was wonderful with these kids. He was so humble, and he posed for pictures with them, and he was really complimentary about their technique, and they had an opportunity to watch him do kata. So he was being reciprocal. He got up, picked up my taiaha and did a beautiful kata with it. And I've always remembered that now when I see those back then they were small children, now they're men in their 30s, they always remember the time they met that amazing karate master, and it meant so much to them then, and it means so much to me now, that I think it really changed those kids' lives. Sensei Armando Martinez of the OGKI. I had an opportunity when I travelled to Spokane to spend some time with both him and Kevin Hefner Sensei. Now, bear in mind that I think I was 20 when I went there, and Sensei Martinez and Sensei Hefner sat down and had, in between breaks, they were by far and away so senior to me, it wasn't funny, but they would talk to me, we went to dinner together, they would talk to me about karate and their lives, and honestly it was like sitting with movie stars in terms of the karate stuff. They were very, very senior, but I learned the true meaning of being humble and polite. They were such lovely examples of the karate spirit. I guess at the end of the day, the point of this video is to talk about the importance of never throwing a moment away with a student. We've all trained with people that have treated their students like servants. We've all trained with people who treated their students like they were annoyances. For me, I know these small interactions that I had that was probably very small, that were very small in terms of these particular sensei and masters, but they meant so much to me, and they changed the way I saw myself, and they made me rededicate myself to something bigger than myself and try and be that. So if you're coming up as a Q grade, you're a Yodancha, remember that those small kindnesses, that's what sets the tone for our dojo. That's the kind of person that I want to train with. So for me, I've been very lucky, and I hope that you're really lucky in your training too, to have those sort of role models in Sensei, because really the men and women who step forward in these roles of leadership remind me of one thing. In my language, in Māori, we talk about rangatira, which people use to mean chief. So you have ranga, tira. Ranga means to weave, rāranga, and tira means people. And that's the kind of sensei that I want. That's the kind of people I want to follow. That's the kind of people who will take me past the threshold of what I think are capable. And that's where mastery and that's where longevity starts.